Yeah, afternoon everyone. I just want to do another quick video. When I was in Belmarsh in the early 90s, 91, 92, it was a madhouse in there. When it came to the brown, to the heroin, there was a lot of gear in there. And in them days, people used to smuggle money in to buy it on the wing. It wasn't like phoning someone up outside and doing electronic transfers into somebody's account and you get sorted out that way. Back then it was, to get anything, it was either canteen. If you were lucky, you could get a canteen bag. Each dealer might do a couple of them a week, 2 or 3 or whatever, but it was mainly cash. And basically, to get that cash, if you couldn't get drugs and you wanted them, you'd have to go out on a visit and get your people to bring up the cash, smuggle it to you, smuggle it through the visiting room, through the search, take it back to the wing and buy your gear with that. And I remember this guy, this Scottish guy, he used to bring in thousands, honestly, big wads of Scottish 50s. I think it was left over from a blag. He was an armed robber and obviously had some cash left over, and his visitors were bringing that up. But I've seen that again in Highdown with a few blaggers, where they got so much cash from all the jobs that they'd done, and they had a heroin habit. When they were in prison, they'd have to bring all the cash up and spend it to buy the drugs, So yeah, obviously it was a bit different back then. You did have phones, but like I say, it was mainly, if you wanted anything, you had to get the cash in physically and buy it. So going back to Belmarsh, I was getting my own little bit of gear brought in, and sometimes I'd get cash as well. When the old man come and visit me, he used to slip me a few tenors and stuff, and I'd take that back to the wing, and try and cheek it if I could rather than bottle it, take it through the search back to the wing and buy a bit of gear. So yeah, in that time, a lot of gear around the 90s was coming into England through Africa, either West Africa or even East Africa as well. It was a known smuggling route, and being in Belmarsh, there was always a few guys from Africa that had African origins that had a lot of gear around them, a lot of brown around them, and there was this one guy who was next door to me called Bemi Jabenabitsi. He was in there for armed robbery, and he always got massive parcels. He was always smuggling and stuff. I remember he had this big long wooden pipe, and it was about 2 foot long. I think it was for smoking tobacco. I'm not sure what it's for. I've never seen one like it, but it was made out of wood, really long thing, 2-3 feet. And I just think, how the hell did he get that through? But this is he was a really tall guy and that, And I remember one day he'd been on a visit, and his cell used to be like Piccadilly Circus, Piccadilly Circus, sorry. And because I was on the gear outside of prison as well, I knew what to look for, and I knew people would be going up to his cell, not just because I could hear stuff, but I could see it as well, and I knew, that they were going there to get a bit of brown. So I spoke to him and said, look, can you sort us out on this day, and I've got the cash, and he went, yeah, I'll do it. No, I was next door to him, but I'll do it later, and I don't think I'd been in there that long, and I was still clucking from coming off of the street, and I see everyone there, Rob McLeish getting sorted out, Stevie Reed getting sorted out, R.I.P. He's passed away, I think. It's my friend's cousin, Stevie Reed, Colin, who I've done a video about, that little hospital video. So yeah, they were all on his door, and he was sorting people out, doing returns, whatever he was doing, and I thought he'd forgotten about me, and I didn't want to be a pest, because I was only a young kid. I didn't want to go sticking it on him and saying, if he said he was going to sort me, I was touching wood that he would, I was so sick. And the hours went by, and we got locked up for the night at 8 o'clock or 7:30, whatever it was. We're banged up for the night, 7 o'clock I think actually. And then I'm thinking, oh, I've got to go all night again with no sleep, clucking. They're not giving me no medication in there. Do you know what I mean? They did used to give you a sleeping draught, the Valium, that pink liquid, but only for a few days at a time, if you know, or no methadone in there, you know, nothing for the withdrawal, a few DFs if you was lucky, you know, a few silly codeine tablets. So, you know, I was really clucking for a bit of gear, you know, and basically it went on till about 10 o'clock, and then I heard a little on the wall, and it was Bemmy, and he says, listen, check the pipe. And you know, at the end of the cell you've got a pipe, a heating pipe that runs through, and there's a little gap in it, you know, and basically, you know, you fold up a bit of paper, a long bit of paper, and you put inside that whatever you want to transfer through. Obviously you got a little gap there of about 3-4 millimeters, so you can easily get a bag of gear through there. So basically, yeah, he hasn't forgotten me, and he's put the bag in there and he's put it through the pipe, you know, and I've seen that come through. I've opened the little bag in the little white envelope, the little wrap, you know, and I've got my bit of foil out, you know, from the Kit Kat, because back then you could use the foil from the Kit Kats, you could buy them in the canteen, you know, and basically I had a smoke out of this £10 bag, and it was good size, and wow, I got the best night's sleep I'd had for ages, you know, took away all the withdrawal and stuff like that, and I had a good night. That's why I sort of remember all these things, really, I suppose, you know. Yeah, so yeah, that's the story there, guys. Just another quick one, and I'll speak to you all soon. Got plenty more of these little stories to come, you know. There's literally thousands of them in my head, you know, so I'm lucky in that way. Like I said before, you know, when I was 18, we talked about mental health earlier on, I did try and top myself, tried to commit suicide, and I was in a coma for a week at St Thomas's Hospital, and that was a pretty nasty experience, but I am very lucky that I didn't get permanent brain damage. I'm very lucky the way I've abused all the drugs, and that I can still remember stuff, you know, from all that time long ago. So I have been lucky in my life, you know, so yeah, to keep my memories, you know, and yeah, so there'll be plenty more stories to come, guys, and I'm going to have my tea in a bit, and I'll speak to you all soon. Thanks a lot, guys.